Okay, there we go. Sorry about that. All right, guys. Hi. I hope you're having a good day. Today we're going to talk about metabolism. And just like with everything that I talk about in holistic health coaching, there are kind of two sides of the picture, the puzzle, which are the foods in your body, what the foods do in your body and how those work together, and they can work together to help you or slow you down. And then there's the energetic piece, which is how your thoughts are also working for or against you with your health, with your body, and even with the foods that you're eating. So I want to talk about how they kind of work side by side today, and to talk about what even metabolism is, because it gets so much blame for whether we lose weight or not. And so we want to break that down and understand it even more, even better, so that you can use these tools to help you make progress in your body and get the body that you really want. Okay, so if you're jumping on, say hi so I can see you, because I can't see you otherwise. I just see like numbers and stuff on my phone. Okay, so let's talk about the food side first. And hey, Carol. Oh yeah, I deleted that because I couldn't share it. But you can watch the replay. Thanks for joining. Okay, so we're going to talk about the food side first. So let me just tell you, there's three things. There's three themes that I want to touch on with food and energy that have to do with your metabolism. The first one is, what does it mean? What does metabolism mean when we're talking about the body and food and the systems of the body? And the same with energy. Like, what energetically is metabolism that is fast or slow? Super cool, right? The second thing is, how do toxins affect the physical body's metabolism, and how do toxins affect your energetic body and metabolism? So if you're taking notes, you can know these are the themes. And then, how does what you're born with affect metabolism, both with food and with energy? Okay, and if you guys like these topics, then give me some hearts and share this with your friends or tag them. Okay, and post your questions as we go along if you have any. All right, so we're going to start with the food side. So what does metabolism actually mean when we're talking about the body and weight loss? So this is very interesting, because all the time you hear people say, well, I'm getting older, and so that means that my metabolism is slowing down. Has anyone said this? Don't lie. Give me some hearts if you said this. Hey, Crystal, glad you're here. So does anyone feel like because you are the age you are that you have a slower metabolism? And have you heard that before? I mean, everybody says that. My husband says it all the time, and I tell him not to. So metabolism is not just the thing that either makes it easy for someone to lose weight or hard for someone to lose weight. What it really means is, how well functioning are these certain things in your body? So I've talked about this before, but it's going to be a little bit of a different insight. How are you able to lose weight is based on the functioning of your thyroid, the functioning of your adrenal glands, and the ability of your liver to work the way that it's supposed to. And we're going to talk about mostly the liver today, because usually when people can't lose weight or they struggle to lose weight, it might be that you have a liver that's slow. It might be that your thyroid is being attacked with a virus. It might be that your adrenals are shot, or it might be two of those things, or it might be all three of those things. But I would bet for almost 100% of the time that it's always the liver. It's always the liver. We know that the liver has to do the most work. We know that it is our major detoxifying organ. We know that all the crap we eat and drink affects it. And we know that even our emotions affect the liver, which is on the other side that we'll talk about. So we're going to talk about how metabolism is very much linked to how effective or not effective or stagnant or sluggish is your liver right now, okay? Does that make sense? So if your liver is high functioning, that means that the things that you eat, it can process them, especially fats. It can process the fats very easily. Things move through you. There's a very good flow. It also means that your blood is clean, because the liver has to be the filter to purify what comes through it and then goes through your blood, which travels to all of your cells, which really affects how easy or not it is for you to lose weight. Are you getting the nutrients? Are you getting the detox that you need? Okay, so why does it seem then that people may be able to lose weight when they're younger, but then they get a little bit older and then it slows down? Okay, so here's the deal. For most people who maybe aren't aware exactly of how the body works or of how food works in the body, the typical age for the liver to have had enough work or too much work that it is slowed down, and that means you get side effects, which one of the many includes difficulty losing weight. That means it can take this lifestyle of not treating it well for about 35 years, 36, 37, 38. It's usually when we're in our later 30s that we say or feel that our metabolism is starting to slow down. And it's just because of all of the work that is required of the liver constantly from when you're a baby until you are right now, and how well or not well you've treated your body, and maybe you didn't know how to treat it or not, or you still did, and did things you didn't think were healthy anyways. But that's typically the time frame that people run into issues. And if anyone on here wants to lose weight, you can share with me, when did it become difficult for you, if it has. So that's typically why, because it can only take all this work that it has to do for normal functioning along with the way that we eat for so long, which transitions us into this number 2 point for how food affects metabolism. Okay, so the theme for number 2 is toxins. So how do toxins actually affect your metabolism? So when we talk about toxins, these are things that are going to come from the foods we eat, the types of foods we eat, and then everything around us. So you have to look at, for all the years of your life, no matter how old you are, in these areas, what has been going on for you, because it really matters. So do you eat a high-fat diet? Because if you do, the liver is going to have to process all of that, and it really slows it down. So how much fat are you eating? And this can be, fried foods. Fried foods are the worst ever. And, maybe you're not eating any fried foods now, but maybe you used to, or maybe you do once in a while. So just understand, those things are one of the very worst. Any foods we know that are considered inflammatory are going to slow everything down. So you have got to avoid the dairy. You have got to avoid the gluten. You've got to avoid the GMOs, the corn, the pork. You know why pork is so bad? This ties into a couple things. One is that it's animal protein, and so that is automatically higher fat than you even know, even if it's like lean chicken breasts on the shelf. So it's higher fat than you even know. And think about toxins, okay? We want to avoid toxins. And when you eat something that eats something else, then there's another piece of the puzzle. And so for pork, they are eating a lot of toxins. They're eating garbage, they're eating, manure. I mean, I don't really watch pigs eat, but I know this is what's going on. So whenever you're eating an animal that's eating something else, you don't know if there's extra layers of toxins there. What did the cow eat? Did it eat grass? Cool. Well, maybe the grass was sprayed with something, because that's going to translate over to you. Or did it eat corn, because maybe the corn was genetically modified, and then that's going to translate into you. So you have to be really aware, like, look at the food chain that you're eating. Are you eating as much organic as you can? Because if you're not, then you need to take some steps to really clean your produce, or maybe start your own garden. Hey Barb. Hi Barb. Glad you're here. Or you need to focus on vegetables and fruits, even if they're not organic. I mean, you have to do the best you can, but never be fearful of eating vegetables and fruits if you can't buy organic all the time, because your body knows what to do with a vegetable and fruit. And what you really have to understand is that those are the food groups that have the inherent natural God-given powers of detoxification, and some much, much more than others, which is why we can specify, you know, for different systems of the body, like which foods you can boost in your diet. But you have to focus on those types of foods and really cut out anything that's toxic. And when you look at something that's processed, that's not original. Someone has done something to it. If a man or a factory or something has affected your food, then you have to think about all the things that are going to affect that food and how your body is going to take in that food. Is it in its natural form that your body knows what to do with it? Because this goes beyond just like, is there chemicals sprayed on that or not? Because if the food has been morphed, which is the problem with genetically modified things, then, or let's say it's cereal that's been put together and there's a bazillion ingredients, then your body doesn't have like a training or a map on how to digest that. And so it has to figure it out. It's the same thing with organic versus non-organic. Your body has to work harder to get the food nutrients than it needs to work if it's organic or pure, right? So again, it's another layer. So it's another layer of work for the liver. So your metabolism is directly affected to how many toxins you put in or on your body or in the environment that you're surrounded in. So you have to go through your bathroom after this live stream. Go look at your makeup. Go look at your shampoo. Go look at your lotion. What are you using? You can switch the stuff out. Like, you can use your coconut oil for your lotion instead of buying lotion, and then you're going to save yourself and save your body some work. So you want to look at the whole big picture. How can I purify my life? How can I simplify the things I eat? How can I simplify the things that my body takes in on all levels? So kind of go through your day and look at all the things that you're exposing yourself to, that you're topically putting in, that's surrounding you, where you breathe, and then things that you're eating. Summer, hey Summer, what do you drink instead of milk? Almond milk? I'm having trouble making that transition from what we think we need or how do I get my calcium? Oh, this is a good question. Okay, so thanks. Cool. Okay, what do you drink instead of milk? Okay, so please don't drink milk from a cow. You can drink almond milk. There's so many things you can drink instead of cow's milk. Almond milk is great. So it's a non-dairy milk is what you're looking for. It's going to come from a plant or a seed or a grain. So you could do almond milk. That's one of my favorites. Coconut milk is one of my favorites. Flax milk is one of my favorites. There's hemp seed milk. There's quinoa milk. Rice milk, all different things. But you want to look again for the labels of these milks that are the simplest. So less ingredients is better. You want to make sure that the main ingredient is the type of milk that it is. So it should be up there really high or first on the label if it's not water. So, and the other thing is you can really make your own very simply too. You can literally like soak almonds that are raw or cashews that are raw. That's another really good one. And blend it up. You can also make banana milk. And this is the way that you spell it, M-Y-L-K. So it looks different. You can just, how did I see that made? I'll have to put the recipe in here. Banana milk. It's very sweet. So yeah, that's good. And then just avoid natural flavors. Look for that on the label. That's hidden MSG and chemicals. So don't buy anything with natural flavors, and don't buy anything that has carrageenan. because that causes cancer. So yeah, and if you think of a brand, post it in our Facebook group, Pure Foodies. I'm not sure where you're watching this from, and tag me and I'll tell you what I think. But you know, there's a lot of good ones out there. Okay, so we've talked about toxins with the body and metabolism. So toxins basically will slow your metabolism and make it hard for you to lose weight. That's the main message there. Okay, third point, what are you born into? What are you born with? And this has been a very interesting uncovering for me and my family recently. Realized that we've come from a line of something being transferred, or weak genes or some sort of toxins being transferred, so that we are kind of slow at nutrient absorption, which isn't good, but you can eat around it. You can eat around any kind of health thing that you're given. So what you're born with internally will affect your ability to lose weight. So the point of this is, and we're going to talk about this on the energetic plane next, is you can't just look at somebody else and say, oh, you know, they can eat whatever they want and be thin, because there's so much going on behind the scenes, inside and outside. So on the inside, here's what's going on. For many generations, we have lived here on Earth, and the Earth has looked differently than it does now. But that doesn't mean that even 1 or 2 generations ahead of us, your parents and your grandparents, weren't exposed to things, toxins, that are going to affect you. Does this make sense? So maybe you can trace back some lineage to your family. Do you have a health condition that runs in your family? Because this doesn't mean it's in your genes that you're going to get it. It means that the former older family members were exposed to one of the core toxins that led to those type of diseases. Like, for example, do you think that Alzheimer's runs in your family? If you think that it does, Alzheimer's is mercury poisoning in the brain. So somewhere your grandparents likely were exposed to mercury. Did you have a grandfather who fought in the war? Because I did. 2 grandfathers who were in the military, in the war, at different areas, and so there was many chemicals going off with bombs and who knows what, right? Or they could have worked in an industrial factory, or they could have been a kid that was playing when the DDT trucks drove by it, and they absorbed all of that. And however much of that is and was in them, and they ate and lived a life in a way to either eliminate that and process it out through cleansing, or they did not do that. Then they married someone who had their own family background, health, and exposure to different chemicals. Then they had a baby, which was someone related to you, and then they lived their life, and they ate certain foods, and they lived a certain way, and then they had more children. Do you see how this goes? And so there's always going to be traces of things that get passed down. And however active or not active they are inside of you has to do with stress. It has to do with how much was transferred, how much else is going on in your life. We can talk about the energy side of this too. But that is what's happening. So I've shared things about my sister before, how she's trying to get rid of this like very chronic infection in her hand, and just realizing that as we grew up, there were always things and signs of a very weak immune system. And so why was that? Because she was, a healthy little girl. And even now she eats fabulously. So there's things that you might have to work out that will affect your metabolism, that are stored in your liver from past generations, that are stored in your spleen perhaps, or circulating in your blood. Okay? So those are the 3. So metabolism, when we're considering foods and the body systems, is a sluggish liver. How sluggish is your liver? What toxic things in your life, foods and otherwise, are affecting your liver today? Because you can change all of this, you guys. You can change it all. So you just have to make it easier. We have to help our liver out. And then what were you born with that is affecting your metabolism today? Okay? And you don't have to go research all of this. It's just something I want you to know. All right, so now let's talk about this on the energy side. Does anyone else have questions? Post your questions so I can answer if you have questions about metabolism. And we're going to keep moving. So on the energetic field, what does metabolism mean? Okay, so metabolism is your flow, the flow in your body with your desire for weight loss or to have the body that you want, and your belief that you can have it, or your expectation. Hi Renzo. Okay, so I'll say that again. So energetically, metabolism is the flow in your body when we factor in the desire for you to have the body or the weight that you want and your belief in it. So your desire and your belief, when your desire and your belief are equal, that's when you have expectation. And you have to have expectation. Hold on, I'm losing my voice. I'm talking too much. You have to have expectation to get what you want. So if you're going around thinking, this isn't working, why am I doing this? Or you do it anyway, but you really don't think it's going to work, then you don't have expectation. So on the energetic plane, then it won't happen for you. So you have slower metabolism there. Okay, so maybe you have like a really high desire to lose weight, but there's a lot of crap getting in the way as far as your beliefs and your thoughts. So you might think, well, it's going to take a long time, or it's got to be hard, and I really don't feel like working that hard, and so I don't really want to apply myself quite all the way. Or you don't have the belief in the foods that you're eating or the exercise that you're doing or the path that you're taking and that it's going to work for you. So these are forms of resistance that will slow you down, okay? Because when you have your metabolism high and in flow energetically, that's when everything is just working for you. So you know what to do. You believe that you're going to have this body that you feel the best in. You do things that feel good. You know the things that you're doing are going to work for you. You feel like it all comes together easily, like there's more things that just line up. So that's when you know that you're in flow. It's like when you see someone that has a successful weight loss, you like can see it in their eyes. They like just know, like they know what they're doing. They like get in this groove with it. Like maybe they're loving their gym, they're loving their workouts, or they're really lined up with the diet that they're on. And you can just see it working for them. So that's more about being in energetic alignment and having a fast metabolism. Okay, so then toxins. So the toxins on the energy plane that would slow metabolism down would be all these things that are causing resistance, like your thoughts, like the ones that I just mentioned. And if you guys are on right now, then you can post, what negative thoughts do you have about metabolism and weight loss and getting your body goals? Because those are toxic to you. And like I said before, how your liver has to process all the foods, the chemicals, the pesticides, your liver also has to process negative emotions. And so if you're very stressed out in the way that your body is or isn't, or the way that your health is or isn't, or way that your job or your relationships are or aren't, all of that is a stress on the body. Negative emotions is translated as stress to the body, which will affect your adrenals, which will also affect your liver, especially anger. Anger is stored in your liver. So if you're mad about something, if you are mad about lots of things, like that's going to be harder work on your liver and slow down your metabolism. So you have to be able to process this stuff out and use different tools to be able to reduce stress, reduce negative emotions that way. Okay, so the other thing here is, okay, we talked about what you're born with internally and how that slows down your metabolism. So when we're talking about energy, this is going to come back to you're looking at what other people are doing and you're looking at them and saying like, oh, well, that person's eating paleo and having success, or that person's eating keto and having success, or this person's vegan and having success. or any type of diet and having success, or they're, you know, working out in a certain way or doing all different combinations of things. But when you look at what other people are doing and think that that has to be the way for you, then that will slow you down because you are not that person. Like I said, they're born with all different things physically, and they believe all different things than you believe. You don't know what their thoughts are. You don't know if they think it's easy to lose weight and it's really fun to go running or all these things. So you have to look at what other people are doing just as what other people are doing, and to not have an effect on you, because you are a unique human being and soul, and nothing else is going to be the exact same. Okay? So this is the part about like what you're born with. You have to think back to, what did you learn when you were little or as a child about health and your body and weight? So did you remember, you know, what kinds of meals you ate, and did you have thoughts about them? Were you told that you had to finish your plate, you know, eat all your food because you can't let it go to waste? And well, is that pattern still showing up for you now? Like where you eat beyond what you know you really need, or you're really full? Did you see your mother do different weight loss programs or plans and learn messages there? So all of these things are going to affect you energetically because they have become filters of the way that you look at things, and that you look at the body, and you look at the way that it's possible to change the body. Okay? So then with all of this stuff, what are you supposed to do if you want to affect your metabolism and lose the weight or get in shape or all of the stuff that you want? Okay, so the number one thing you have to do is you have to cleanse and connect. So I'll talk about this on both sides. On the body side, we have to support the liver. We have to cleanse. We have to do things in our lifestyle that support cleansing and supporting the liver, working out what's already inside of you so you can't keep adding more. So you have to eat in a way that includes lots of natural detoxifying foods like raw spinach and grapefruit, and making green juices and lots of fruits and cranberries, and there's so many. And you have to, oh, I added this one down too. Lemons, we know lemons work. You might need to reduce the protein you eat. You might need to reduce all the processed foods you eat. You might need to reduce any inflammatory foods that you eat. But you have to be able to cleanse consistently, and just, you know, eating a healthy diet, if you know what that means, that is going to be supportive of cleansing because you're not adding to the problem. And so you also have to cleanse by cleaning up your environment, cleaning up the products that you're putting around you and on you, because again, it's more things that get absorbed into the skin that your liver has to work on. And so if it's working on the, you know, sulfites and sulfates and phthalates and all the stuff in your body care products, then guess what? Weight loss gets put on the back burner because it has to take care of this other stuff. So it's true in food and anything around you. Okay. And so you have to also cleanse on the energy plane and stop thinking negative thoughts, or understand them and start to transition them into looking at things in a different way. So there's no way you're going to be able to lose weight and get your dream body if you walk around all day thinking, this is hard, it's too hard, I can't do it, everyone else can lose weight but me. Then you won't. So you got to stop thinking like that and start to think in a new way and look at things in a new perspective. And so then the second part of this is we have to cleanse and connect and do what you know. So this is really the biggest thing. So if you know that eating inflammatory foods aren't good, but you do it anyway, then you need to stop doing it. You need to eat the foods. Hey, yeah, hold on, that's okay. Bring him in. Hi.
He hasn't really had a nap yet.
Oh dear, we have a visitor.
He just ate.
Mom.
Okay.
Hi.
Hi.
Okay, thank you, bye. So, Grandma just brought baby back. Okay, that's okay. He'll help us finish this live stream. You say hi, baby? Look, he's wearing his shirt. Dalton. Colton. Okay. So you have to do what you know to do. You have to do what you know to do. So you have to eat the foods that you know are detoxifying. You have to make the green juice. You have to get up early and do it or go buy it. You have to, eat your fruit. You have to eat a very heavy plant-based diet. Like I said, you might have to limit, fat and protein and things that just aren't serving you. Alcohol, you need to cut down on that. That's going to be horrible for your liver. All of those things are going to slow you down. So clean that up and then actually do what you know. And then with your thoughts and your beliefs, here's what I think sometimes is the hardest. If you're a person who already considers themselves to be healthy and a person that eats well and eats a lot of healthy foods, then it's almost like the energetic shift has to come first in some form. So you have to understand that it is possible for you to get the body and the health that you want. And you start out by doing what you know, okay? So if you know that eating salads makes you feel healthy and energetic, then do that. If you know that eating chicken and broccoli at night makes you feel good, then do that. If you know that eating vegan makes you feel good, then start with that. And it doesn't mean that your diet is always going to be the same, but what you're really looking for is stabilizing your energy in a way that isn't so negative and frantic, like I can't do it, I don't have the body I want, I don't have the weight that I want. You have to stabilize where you are in order to move forward and then gain all that momentum that starts to make things move easier, which is your fast metabolism. Does that make sense to you guys? So if you're on, I'd love for you to post, what things do you know work for you with your body about food and exercise in general. So you maybe can get to this by thinking about a past time when you had successful weight loss or when you were really healthy. What were you doing? What made you feel good? And you can start there. And the reason you do that is because you know it. And when you know something, it's certain and it's certain to come. And so if you can follow along with your life and for your health in the other areas too. Hold on, I'm going to put him on the floor. With things that you know, then that's what you need to do. And so you want to take away like these, I'm not sure, those type of situations and those types of actions and do what is very solid within you. So like when you think about it, you're like, yep, I know that works for me. I know that this is good for me. And it's a really good place to start. So does anyone have any questions? Please post them if you do. And I guess the next thing would be if you don't know, like if you literally don't know and you just feel like this whole thing's up in the air and I really have no idea how to shift this and how to lose the weight and how to shift my emotions and my energy, then you want to talk to someone like me because I can help you see it from both sides. So what I do with my clients is, really listen to them and help them understand what is going on with the systems of the body. Is it your liver that's primarily going to need the work first? Or is it your glucose that's off? Do you need more adrenal support? Or is the thyroid a factor? What do we know already? And then it's always on the energy side too. What's going on in your head? Are you beating yourself up? Are you making it hard? Are you making yourself do a lot of work and pinning all the hopes of your dream body on the efforts that you're doing? Because that won't ever work either. So that just means that you're not in alignment with the actions that you're taking, and you need to get in alignment with the actions that you're taking. And sometimes you just need to know where to start. And so I can help you with that if that's something that you want. So I'll put the link in the comments for my body breakthrough sessions. You are welcome to apply there. I would love to talk to you if you're super serious about getting results, because you will if you do what I say and follow through. So any questions, please let me know. And if not, then just put them in the comments if you watch the replay, and I'll come back around and talk to you. Okay? Thanks, guys. See you soon.